Welcome to the Transformational Soul Show with your host, Ruth Soltman. Are you ready to experience more stability in your life? You can change your life and be who you are meant to be, your authentic self.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ruth Soltman, and welcome to the Transformational Soul. I want to welcome you if you're watching the live show or if you're listening or watching the replay. Very, very grateful that you're here to share your energy and your love. And we are live, streaming live on YouTube, Rumble, X, and BitChute. I want to say hello to a few people that I see are popping on already. Hello, Richard and Maureen and Patty and Laura and Jill and Roy. Welcome. Good to see you all here. Let me find my notes here. So, thank you all for joining. Share the show information. Very grateful for that. Please hit the like, the thumbs up button. Tell your friends about all the Goldylocks Productions shows so they can come and watch. And if you are here and you haven't yet, please say hello in the chat. I would love to hear from you. I invite you to check out my website, ruthsoltman.com. It's RUTH, S as in Sam, OL, T as in Tom, M as in Mary, A, N as in Nancy.com. And you can go to my website and find out all about my books, my oracle cards, and my services. Come and join the Goldylocks Productions group on Telegram if you haven't already. It's a wonderful group over there. It is by invitation only, and the link is in the show description. We share every day. Any news will be posted there first. So come and join us over there. There's also the QR code that you can, click to for the link for the group. Goldylocks Productions also has an online store where you can get some really great merchandise. And I believe there's a sale going on right now, but I forgot to write it down. But you can go over there and check it out and see what kind of sale they're having. Goldylocks has a wonderful different products with different logos, stuff for each of the shows, just a lot of really good stuff. And while you're in the buying mood, don't forget about the Goldylocks Productions Energize cards. Amazing oracle cards that we came together and created. And they have messages from the different show hosts and beautiful sacred geometry symbols. And you can, get a deck for yourself. And then you would have a message from somebody every day. If you feel moved to do so, you can give a tip or a donation via my Venmo or a Rumble rant on Rumble. Your tips and donations are graciously accepted and appreciated because they help pay for my show every month. I want to wish a very happy birthday to everyone and anyone who is celebrating this week. Enjoy your special day. And let's send out some love, light, and healing energy and prayers to all those who are in need. And I know a lot of us are in need right now. We've got a lot of stuff going on. We're trying to get through all this energy. Old things are coming up for us, so we all kind of need a little bit. But let's especially remember Robin McGuire and her son, Carol Ann Carey and her daughter Carrie, and her sister Ginny, Maureen, Brandon, Jamie, Heidi, William, Tommy, Josh, Harley, Patty, Sarah and her family, Jamie, Patricia, Melissa Parks and her family, Devin, Jill, Roy, Laura and her husband, Tiffany, George and their family, Carol, Susan, Bob, Joanne, and to all those who are in need or need a little bit extra right now. Remember to catch our shows Sunday through Friday and a couple times on Saturdays too. Um, but I'm not going to go through the rundown of all the shows during the week because you guys are probably pretty familiar. If not, just come and tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern, Sunday through Friday, and you will catch one of our shows. Now, we do have some daytime shows. We have Laura um, Ramiro with Angels and Healing Light. And did you catch her show yesterday at its due time, 4 p.m. Eastern? It's a great time. It works out great for me. Let's put it that way. Um, so there's that one. There is Marsha's podcast, The Mile, on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. And that is a call-in show. Marsha didn't have her show today, but she will be back next week. And tomorrow, Aleph is back with Musical Life. She is on at 1 p.m. Eastern. She's been on a little bit of a break. So real exciting that she's going to be back tomorrow. So don't miss her show. And also tomorrow is a busy day for Goldylocks. At 4 p.m. is Soul Coaching with Joanne Leo. I think this is about Joanne's fourth or fifth show. She is like so full of wisdom and knowledge, and she is more than happy to share it with all of us. So tune into her show. She's got a great show. And if you haven't become a VIP, please do. It's cost you such a little bit each month that you get to be a Goldylocks VIP. We have a special show for VIPs, and once or twice a month. And there's other little things that come up, like the Christmas show where Tiffany did a bunch of giveaways and different things like that. So there's some nice little perks. So how is everybody doing? It has been a crazy week for me. The energy, of course, it's still really intense, but it feels different. It's a different kind of intense for me. I don't know if everybody else or anybody else is experiencing it any differently, but I have been talking for weeks about different aches and pains and things that would come and go in my body. And I can feel the healing taking place. I can feel the energy flowing through my body. I can feel it going to certain areas. And they're starting to feel better. They're starting to feel a lot better. I was having some big issues with the one side of my neck. And like for the longest time, I just thought it was the way I was sleeping. And all of a sudden, I noticed yesterday that like it's not hurting. The other thing I did notice though, I did notice later on when it came back, and it came back with a fever. So, I know the fever can be associated with inflammation, but I feel like that fever is like purging some of this stuff from my body, which fevers do purge. So fevers are not a bad thing. But I can feel a lot of stuff moving and flowing in my body better than it was. Like, kind of like, think about it this way. Your toilet gets plugged up, right? And the water will not flow down. And you take that plunger and you plunge and plunge and plunge and put all that pressure, and then she just goes right through the pipes, right? So it's kind of like that. I feel like whatever was, maybe there was something stagnant, and all of this energy is just kind of, and whooshed it through my body, and now it's feeling better. Things are moving better. Little aches and pains a lot of them are just gone. The areas that need more healing, obviously are going to take longer, but it's really, working out really great. Hello, Linnell. So I hope you guys are seeing a lot of different things like that, in your life too. Another thing that I have noticed that's really kind of annoying, and I don't know if it has anything to do with any of this energy or anything, but things of mine have been disappearing, like literally vanishing. Not where I put funky, because I usually like dry the front so it's not all, weird and lumpy. My hair dryer is gone. There's one of 3 places where I keep my hair dryer, and it's nowhere. I searched everywhere. It's just gone. If you remember several months ago, I told you about how I dropped two earrings on the floor. And it's a carpeted floor, so they're not going to go very far. I bent down and picked up one, and the other one was just gone. It still has not resurfaced. And the other thing was I bought an eyeliner, and this one really baffles me because there's only one of two places where it would be. It would either be on my desk downstairs before I bring it upstairs, or it would be upstairs either, well, on my desk or in my makeup stuff. So I bought it because my other one was just about gone. And when I went to get ready one day, it was nowhere to be found, absolutely nowhere. So I got super frustrated about that, and I ordered another one. But that one's missing now too. So I have two somewhere in the abyss. You know, maybe one day it'll show up again. But I have noticed things, disappearing. So is anybody else having like any kind of weird stuff going on? Because to me, that's kind of weird. Depending on what the items are, I would say maybe someone's trying to get my attention, but they're just such odd, random, things. So instead of letting it like drive me nuts, I just kind of stop looking for it. And I know it'll turn up because stuff always does. Always. So, are you guys ready for the fire horse? It's going to come barreling in next week. And I'm telling you, I could not be more excited. I have, the lack of energy, the slow moving from 2025, the snake year. I am so ready to be done with that. I am so ready. Hold on one second. Okay. People always forget what day and time I have my show. So the fire horse energy, I'm really ready. I could use some forward movement. I could use a lot of energy, which is going to bring us. It's going to bring us that. It's going to bring us swift transformation. It's going to bring us personal liberation. Hello, Kavita. It's going to be us moving into action. We've been sitting on this stuff, thinking about this stuff for so long, and now we're going to be moving into doing this stuff, whatever stuff, you may be working on or, wanting to do. It's all going to start coming into fruition. And, I could not be more excited about that than I am. Because it's about time. We've been, dragging ourselves around, kind of like think about the snake, slithering, going slow. I know some snakes are pretty quick and they feel like they're really fast if you see one because you think it's going to get you. But I'm really glad to be moving out of that energy. So that's pretty cool. And that's coming up really, really fast. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. And I know some of us are already starting to feel that energy. I know, like I said, it was almost like I felt that whoosh. And like whatever was stuck and not moving very much is now moving. And it's moving a lot. And I've noticed an increase in my energy as far as getting things done, whether it's cleaning or cooking or working on my stuff. Things have been moving a lot faster. Laura says, maybe you have a bored fairy hiding your things. I would not doubt it. I would not doubt it. I have had that happen to me throughout my life so many times. very fortunate that was never like my keys when I needed to leave or my wallet or something like that. But, you know, it can just be a little bit frustrating. Now, if you're one of those people that are, you know, as this year winds down, the year of the snake, if you're working on shedding some of your old stuff still, maybe you have some forgiveness work left to do. Then if you do have some forgiveness work you need to do, this is a good time to release all of that. And, you know, you can message me and I will send you my forgiveness exercise, the one that I was given by my team when I was writing my first book. It helped me so much. It helped me so much to get stuff out and to just release it and to let go of it. And I'm going to tell you that when you let stuff go like that and you release it, you really aren't thinking about it much anymore. Once it's gone, it's like it's gone. You don't dwell on it anymore. You don't wonder about it. You don't do the what ifs, nothing. You know, once you heal it and let it go, it is gone. So, with all this energy, and I need to remind myself, I'm going to have to start sending reminders on my phone for this one because I don't always remember this. Remember to bubble up. Put yourself in that energetic bubble and to keep the negativity away. And not just, you know, if you're going out somewhere in public, do it in your own home. You know, salesman, postal worker, somebody comes to the door, might have the most awful energy. You know, they might be going through something really serious and have some horrible energy, and you open that door and you just get hit with it. So always remember to do your bubble. Now, I got an interesting email. I think it was maybe Monday or Tuesday. I don't know. But it had to do with Copperfield Author Fair. Now, I did this several years ago, and it was, I want to say it was in May maybe, and it was so hot. And super windy. Stuff kept blowing over. But it was a great experience. And they do it every year. And every year it's gotten a little bit bigger and a little bit better. So as I was opening my Gmail today, so 3 different times now, the same email, it's the exact same email, has come up as, it looks like it's unread because you know how it's got the bold letters. And it says Copperfield Author Fair. So I'm like, okay, 3rd time now. I'm feeling like I'm supposed to go. So it's changed a lot since the first time I went. I didn't get to go last year. I don't remember why, but I think something was going on that weekend. But the year before, I was planning on going, but then we had thunderstorms. It just thunderstorms and tons of rain. And so I missed that one. Hello, Pooja. So a lot has changed since I went to the first one I went to. It's now 2 days. It's the whole entire weekend, which is pretty cool because you can set up, you know, the one day and you don't have to take your stuff down till the next night. The price has also changed. It's twice the price because it's twice as much time. So, you know, now I've got several books. I have journals. I have oracle cards. I have coloring books. So it would be like a really great place for me to showcase all my stuff now. And there's always lots of kids there. So I thought that would be pretty awesome. So I am going to reach out to you guys. I'm going to put this into the universe. If anyone would like to make a purchase on my website for a reading or Reiki session, this would be a great time. I believe my holiday sales specials are still up on my website, so you can take advantage of that. If anyone feels moved to give a tip or make a donation for this cause, I would be immensely grateful. If I am not able to go, then I would use those funds towards inventory for the next fair. Just you think, wow, the price of the booth, that's one thing. But then I have to buy many copies of all of my stuff. That's where it gets even more expensive. So if anybody, would like to reach out and help out with that, I would be immensely grateful. The last time when I went, I took some other items that I had, like from my craft show, like my pendulums, and there's a lot. I've sold a couple of those. There's a lot of interest in those. So that's why I really think, like my oracle cards, I think people will really be, excited about those. I took those to another fair that I had, but I only had like my demonstration copy. People would have to go on and order them because I wasn't able to pre-order them ahead of time. And I would have sold some if I would have had ones there to sell. So I'm going to put that out there, and if it's meant to be, it will. If not, then it won't. So it is 23 minutes after. I would like to give some messages. I've just been feeling really in the mood to do that. I think the one thing that I am the most grateful for of things I can see changing, well, I don't know, there's a lot, but having some energy back to actually want to do stuff. It's not like just sitting there and thinking in my head, well, I would love to get up and work on this, or, go mop the floor, or go do some laundry. And I have all these ideas, and then I get up and my body's like, oh no, you're not doing any of that. I've had enough rest, I think, to last me the rest of my lifetime. That's how it feels. I feel like I just want to start doing more and more and more. And when you're active, it helps you to get better sleep too, because you're tired. It's one thing to go to bed and go to sleep when you're exhausted from doing nothing than when you're exhausted from doing a bunch of stuff. So let's see. I'm going to start with Richard. And I am going to use the Goldylocks cards. And let's see what else we have here. What direction am I being pulled into? I always just keep out, I keep a few decks of my cards out here. And I have like this 3-tiered thing that I have for all my stuff for my show. And so the ones that I'm currently using, I'll have where they're easily accessible. Then I have other decks that are, put away or somewhere else. And I rotate them. I rotate them out so that, I don't want to use the same cards every single week. All right, let's see what we have. Richard. February 11th. I wrote down the 16th. There's almost Valentine's Day for any of you who may celebrate. I don't know if people here don't seem to know what this is, but where I grew up in October, we had Sweetest Day too. So it's like Valentine's Day in February and Sweetest Day in October, which I think is just kind of like, kind of the same thing. It's one of those spend a lot of money kind of deals. Okay, Richard. The first card you got is a message from Marsha Culver. And it says, mermaids are reminding you to move with the flow. So lay back and breathe. Life is really rough when you don't move with the flow. When you don't go with the flow, you try to go against it. So, keep staying in that state of mind of relaxing and just going with things. Don't try to fight against stuff. Good night, Richard. Have a great night. Don't try to fight against stuff. because that's only going to make your journey more difficult. Just go with the flow and let things unravel and develop naturally. The other card I got for you says Birds of a Feather. And it's got the number 25 on it. Birds of a feather. What do? They flock together. I remember my dad talking about that, when we were growing up. You have to be careful who you hang out with, because the people that you hang out with is a reflection of you, because birds of a feather flock together. So if you're hanging out with some rough people, or, something that he would say, that's how people will perceive you. Not that that's right, but I'm just saying. So birds of a feather. More like-minded people, Richard. Seek out some more like-minded people. It's really nice when you can share like your spiritual views and beliefs with someone else. It gives you a lot to talk about. And that's always, pretty amazing and fun. So just remember that. Birds of a feather. Maureen. You're welcome, Richard. I hope you have a great night. I give you a lot of credit. Working the shift you do, that's, my body I couldn't tolerate that. When I was young and I worked sometimes when I was real young, and my kids were like babies, and I waitressed a lot, and I would have to go to work, because I was just thinking about this today. I would have to go to work at 4 in the afternoon, 4 to 10 or whatever, 4 to 9, 5 to 10, whatever. And, it would just kill me to be home with those kids all day and then have to leave at that time. But it's very tiring for me, that kind of a shift. I'm becoming much more of a morning person than I ever was before. And I like it. I like getting up early. I like listening to the birds sing. I like watching the sun come up. It's very enjoyable. Okay, Maureen, what do we got for you? Hope is faith. And that's from Carol Ann Carey. Hope is faith. Let that symbol sink in a little bit there. And the other card I got for you says, beyond the ordinary. And that's the number 45. And the one that came up with it was the number 9. And it says, the rose's kiss. The rose's kiss. Beyond the ordinary. We want our life to be beyond the ordinary. We don't want it to be just ordinary and, like everybody else's. We want to, step beyond that. And we can do that. We can absolutely do that. Because really, ordinary can be very boring, right? And very dull. And you can get very complacent with ordinary. So always just strive to do that little bit extra. Put forth that little bit extra effort in everything that you do. Because that's what makes it extraordinary. And everything you do, you just do it with such love and such warmth and compassion, Maureen. And that is felt by other people. Linnell. Let's see what we have for Linnell. Okay, Linnell, allow the quiet. Carol Ann Carey. Allow the quiet. I will tell you that there comes a time in our life when we crave the quiet, when we are very, very grateful for the quiet. And it's not because, we don't love other people or anything, but sometimes, we need that quietude. We need to be in that space with just ourselves. And I know you seem to be very active in doing things, Linnell, and I know you have a grandchild now. So really, if you're having a difficult time because of a lot of people being around, or maybe just a lot of noise, in your head or in your outside world, just make sure you make time for the quiet as well, because we need that. We really need that. The other card that you got is number 6. It is what it is. And everything happens in divine timing, and it happens the way it is supposed to. They want me to remind you of that. Everything happens just the way it is supposed to. So I hope that makes sense to you, Linnell. Okay. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Puja. Puja. Oh, Puja, you got this card too. Mermaids are reminding you to move with the flow. So lay back and breathe. Hello, Melissa. So lay back and breathe. You got this. You got this. Just don't let yourself become overwhelmed. When you start feeling like you're becoming overwhelmed, just stop, take a few deep breaths, because I'm telling you, it completely changes things. My granddaughter, Judy, she's 5 years old, and she got all worked up about something the other day, and she was having herself a little hissy fit. And when you get worked up like that and you try to talk, nobody can understand you, because you, first of all, it just doesn't come out right. So I was trying to explain to her how to do that, and to just, take a few deep breaths and relax. And it really helps to calm you down. When we had COVID and schools were shut down, my granddaughter Hannah was just, I want to say in kindergarten, maybe that was kindergarten or first grade. I think it was kindergarten. And so they did the school at home, and I helped her with that, and everything was on the computer. And they went over stuff like this about like mental health type things, but they didn't really call it mental health. And it just said, like when you get upset, you have to take a step back. And the way they would tell them to do the breathing was to breathe in like you're, I want to say, well, they said to breathe in like you were, oh, dang, I wish I could remember what it was. But then you breathe out and pretend like you're blowing out a birthday candle. So it's a good way, like, to explain it to kids, but it's a good way, to remember to do it. And let that breath out really, really slow. When you do it fast, it doesn't feel as good. But when you take that deep breath, and even if you want to count, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold it, bringing it in, hold it for 5, and then release it for like 8. When you release it slowly like that, it takes out so much tension out of your shoulders and out of your whole body. It's amazing. And the other card I got for you is the number 1. Number 1. And it says Earth Magic. And just remember, there is magic all around you. There are miracles all around you. Sometimes we get really busy and we don't look for those things. We don't look for them. Sometimes we need to actually, turn our head and look off of the path that we're walking on in order to see other stuff that's around us. So I was sitting outside with Judy and Jackson this evening, and they were riding their scooters. And I had a certain thought in my head. And, I posed a question to myself. I wonder if blah, 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 blah. And just as I thought this, a beautiful monarch butterfly flew right into the yard, which tells me that everything's going to be okay. But it was just, I love getting, validation like that, or any kind of validation. It's so amazing when that happens. Okay, let's see. Oh, hard to read my writing. Kavita. Kavita. Wow. So, Kavita, the first card I got for you is from Melissa Parks, and it says Seeker of Truth, Teacher of Light. And that's, that's the state of mind where we need to be. Seekers of truth. Seekers of truth. The truth is out there. So much truth is being uncovered, or, coming out of the shadows. It's not hidden anymore. But there's also a lot of stuff out there that, we don't really know. Just like with all these AI videos that are a little bit bordering on annoying right now. Some of them are obviously AI. Other ones say they're not. However, people will be missing fingers or different things. And some of them are very obviously AI. So use your discernment. You know what's truth, what isn't, and always go for the truth. When you're seeking the truth, you need to know the truth of yourself as well. You are love and you are light, and you are here for a very important and a very special purpose. The other card I got for you is the number 45, and it says Beyond the Ordinary. And I feel like ordinary would not be a word to describe you, Kavita. I feel like you are anything but ordinary. So keep that up. Keep that up. Hello, Samir. Keep stepping beyond the norm. And continue to step outside of your comfort zone. The more that you do that, the more you grow. Patty. Oh my goodness. So when a card comes up multiple times during my show for multiple people, I feel like that's a message that we all need to take in. And this card has come up again. And where was I, Patty? I believe so. Got to start marking it out here. And Patty, you also got the number 45, Beyond the Ordinary. So we all need to be doing extraordinary things. And what's extraordinary? That means something different to you than it does to me. I think the fact that you can plant a seed in the ground and a flower blooms, months later, I think that's extraordinary. Think of all of the stuff that you have been planting in your life, Patty. And now you're going to start watching it grow. So many things are changing for you. You're doing so much healing. And this is really going to help move you forward very quickly. I see you riding on that horse, that fire horse. So, feel all of that energy and let it help you. Let it propel you into the future and what you see your future as. And the other card I got for you is a message from Tiffany White Sage Woman. And it says, know thyself and thou shalt know all. Every question that you seek an answer to, everything that you are are looking for out there, it's all inside you. Everything is inside of you. So know that the more you know yourself, the more you know. The more you know. Think about, maybe when you were, let's say, a teenager. Think about how much we knew about ourselves then. We would think, oh, if I was in this situation, this is what I would do. No, a lot of times, we would say things like that or feel like that based on what we saw our friends doing or, our peers in school. We didn't base it on who we thought we were, or who we knew we were, because we had no clue who we were when we were teenagers. And I really don't think a lot of teenagers, there's some, but hopefully there's more now than there, what was in the past, that are really seeking answers like that now. I can remember when I was 16, I had kind of a little, I don't know, I guess I wouldn't say it wasn't a spiritual awakening, but it was kind of a shakeup of figuring out how I felt about, my religious upbringing compared to how I felt about things, myself. And I struggled with that for a while. But I don't think a lot of people think like that, when they're in their teens. But keep uncovering more things about yourself. Just keep getting to know yourself more and more and more. Because all those answers that you're looking for are right there inside. Just sit in the quietude and listen and be at peace. And know that all the stuff that you have been through, that you've been going through, it's all for your best and highest good. I know it doesn't seem like that when you're going through it, because I'll tell you, as humans, we can have some really, really rough times in life. Some, are by choices that we made ourselves, and some are from circumstances that may or may not have been within our control. But we can have, very rough lives here, but we also have very wonderful lives here. And every experience that we have teaches us something if we're willing to open up and look at it and see it for what it really is. It's a lesson, and it's usually a blessing as well. So keep doing that hard work because it pays off. And know that it's all for your best and highest good. And I know that can be a really difficult thing to accept, to think, wow, I'm going through all this crap, and I have been for years, and it's for my own good. It's hard sometimes to see that when you're going through it. But later on, after you are through it, and you look back, you can see how it was and what it taught you. And what you learned about yourself, while you were going through that. Okay. Samir. Okay, Samir, the first card I got for you says, it's from Gayla Akshana, and she is a former show host. It says, cleanse the heaviness out of your life. Cleanse the heaviness out of your life. Are you feeling some heaviness, some heavy energy maybe some stuck energy, stagnant energy that's not moving much? Because a lot of times when we have that stagnant energy that's not moving around very much, it can feel really, really heavy. Now, it can also be that, you're carrying around the weight of the world again and worrying about everybody else. So you have to release that stuff. You have to let people deal with their own stuff. You've got your own stuff you got to worry about, Samir. The other card I got for you is the number 28, and it says broken open. Broken open. And I feel like there's some, it's where the cracks are that the light gets in. Okay, so just like in this picture, that's what it reminds me of. That there's a bunch of little cracks and all that light's coming in and going out. But broken open, I feel like something is going to release for you. Whether it's, opening your heart chakra more and really feeling the love, or if it's, something completely different. But I feel like something is just, you're going to feel it. Almost like, wow, like a door opened, or a flow of energy, like how I felt the last few days. Like that energy is just rushing through me and pushing crap out. Oh, you're welcome, Samir. You're welcome. So I hope that helps. And Roy. What do we have for Roy? I trust your ankle is on the mend, Roy. Sprained ankle can make getting around a little rough. Okay, Roy. Your message is from Tiffany White, Sage Woman, and it says, nature has a message for you. Ground and tune in to receive it. I feel you need to do some more grounding. You need to, feel like your feet, when they're planted on the ground, feel like they are roots going down into the ground, holding you and making you stronger. Because, the roots of a tree do that. They make the tree, if the roots weren't there, the tree would fall over, right? So we don't think about that all the time, but it's very true. So, ground yourself more. Now, what works for you in grounding might not be the same that works for someone else. For me, getting out into nature is wonderful. Sitting in the sun for a little bit, amazing. Walking barefoot, which I do 99% of the time, and just feeling the earth underneath your feet, amazing. Sometimes you can eat certain things that will help you ground. That used to happen for me with cheese. I don't know why. But like after my show and stuff, when I would be feeling like so much energy in my head, like my head's going to explode when I first started doing my shows. After my shows, I would go and eat a couple little pieces of cheddar cheese. And immediately it would bring me back down to earth. So you have to figure out what works best for you. You also got the number 27, a grand symphony. And I feel like so many things in your life are finally coming together and they're working together. Whether it's related to your move, to relationships, to things you're doing around the house. I feel like all these little pieces are coming together to make one big, beautiful thing. So that's something, to really look forward to. So you keep doing that. You keep working on that stuff, Roy. And, it'd be really exciting to see what you have, what your symphony looks like. Laura. Now, I have to say, if you guys missed Laura's show yesterday, go back and watch it. She had a great show. She gives the most amazing messages. She really does. Okay, so who did I say? I said Laura. Okay. Okay, your message is from Marsha Culver. And it says, open your heart. Love and joy are all around you. Accept it. Well, you already know this. Love and joy are all around you. And I know you see it a lot in your little animal family too, don't you? Because I know how you are about the animals, and you've definitely opened your heart to them, and you have so much compassion for the animals. I'm telling you, there's been animals just absolutely break my heart lately. We have a lot of strays, not that you can catch any of them. We have a lot of stray cats and, from time to time, stray dogs. And when you see an animal that is like skinny as a rail, you can't not let your heart just go out to them. And yes, we feed our stray animals in the neighborhood. I don't know. I have a thing about that, about a being going hungry. So we started doing that. And it's really amazing to see how their little personalities have changed too. Because at first, if I was outside on the porch, that's where I've been putting the food because it's easier than going around the back in the driveway. Plus now it's not sitting in the hot sun and stuff. So put some food and water out there, and you'll see that they'll look, like, is she going to try and bother me? Maybe I should wait. And then over time, as time goes by, it'll come up on the porch. Then as time goes by, the next one. These are ones that were like super squeamish and wanted nothing to do with any human. So it's really awesome to see, how they're changing because of it. But anyway, getting back to you, just keep letting that love flow. Just keep your heart open. It's like a revolving door. The love going in and coming out. Going in and, out. Okay. So, keep doing that. And the other card I got used the number 17. That's a great number, by the way. And it's called the Storyteller. And at first, when I saw that, I thought, well, yeah, you like to tell stories. You're good at all of the stuff you talk about. But then what I really got was it's about your book. It's about your book. Because even though it may not seem like it, you are telling a story. You're telling a story that we all need to hear as well. I'm super excited about that, Laura, about, getting your book out there. I can't wait to read it. It's very exciting. And also yesterday on Laura's show, she did a great meditation. I didn't get to enjoy most of it. I'm going to go back and watch it like in the evening, like probably tonight or tomorrow night, because, I had the boy. So I didn't want to just sit and be in that meditative state while, he was up and around. Little guy gets into stuff. Roy says, thank you for the message. Great card. We are going to get out on the trails when not cold, and he is feeling better. Everything is coming together. Thank you. Well, awesome. You are welcome. Okay. Jill. Okay, now let me tell you, after Jill, I have Melissa. So if I missed anybody, if I didn't give you a message and I didn't just say your name, Melissa, then let me know. Because sometimes I accidentally cross somebody off when I haven't done their reading. I don't know why. I get mixed up sometimes. Forget where I'm at. Okay. Build your future, not your past, from Robin McGuire. So don't live in the past, Joe. Let all that stuff go. Move forward. Focus on, now. Live in the present, but plan for the future. Don't put all of your thoughts and stuff into the future because that's not happening right now. We need to focus on the present. And you got, how nice is this? You got the number 11 and in perfect harmony. And I feel like that goes really good with Roy's symphony. Because I feel like things in your life are beginning to come into harmony with each other. I feel like before things were a little bit chaotic, and now things are really coming together, and it's going to, make beautiful music in your life. Hope that resonates with you, Joe. Melissa. Laura says, thank you for the great message and support, Ruth. You are welcome. Where am I at, Melissa? Ooh. Okay. This is a message from Robin McGuire, Melissa. And it says, you have the magic within you. You have the magic within you. Yes, you do. We all have that magic within us. And you are not afraid to seek it out. You are not afraid to show it, to explore it. And a lot of people are. So kudos to you. Keep on doing that. The more, more things that you see, there's going to be so many more that you uncover. And the other card I got for you is the number 12, and it says bearing fruit. And I feel like a lot of things that you have been planting, a lot of those seeds that you have been planting, over the last 6 months to a year are going to begin coming to fruition. All of that stuff is going to start bearing fruit in your life. And your life is going to be very abundant in every way. Abundance. Okay. I am going to give Robin a card because I know she's usually listening while she's working and she can't always comment. So just in case, Robin, you got a message from Melissa Parks. Seeker of truth, teacher of light. Totally. Always seeking the truth. You were seeking the truth about your health, and that's what started you on your health journey, right? Imagine if you wouldn't have been seeking the truth then. Where would you be right now? Think about it. It's kind of scary to think about. But, so awesome that you did that, And the other card I got for you is the number 11, in perfect harmony. And I feel like all of the changes that you are making in your life is bringing every aspect of your life into harmony, with all the other aspects. And I feel like you're going to have a very well-rounded life. Now, I'm one more. Tiffany. What do we have for Tiffany? Oh, this is a message for me, Tiffany. It says, when you bless others, you bless yourself. And that's so true because the joy is in giving, right? And giving to someone else, that might, bless them and bring them joy. But the act of giving and bringing someone else joy brings us joy, so it blesses us as well. And you got the number 2, and it says roots of abundance. Look at those roots on that tree. And I feel like, a lot of abundance is moving into your life, is coming into your life in all different ways. Not just financially, but in, many other ways. Abundance is a good thing, right? Yes, it is. So I want to thank you all so much for joining me. I've had so much fun with you guys tonight. Thank you for sharing your energy, your love, your support. I appreciate and am grateful for each and every one of you. I am grateful and love you too, Tiffany. Thank you very much. Next week, it's going to be, what is it going to be, the 18th, and we will have the horse in here. The horse will be with us. So get prepared for that energy, drink lots of water, get lots of sleep, because we're going to be in motion. We're going to be moving fast, and change is going to come quickly. And this is really what we need. We need this right now so much in our lives. We need it. It is going to be on a personal level, a professional level, a community level, a global level. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing year. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful week. I love you all. Good night, everybody.